Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jessica J. This is Jessica J Create, where I create and share with the hopes of inspiring and connecting with you. In today's video, I am bringing you a quick pattern review for the THISISKACHI Skirt Love and Corset Top Bliss pattern, which she sells on her Etsy shop. This is a pattern pack where, of course, you get the top and the skirt. There was no formal written description of what you get, so I would call the top like a cropped corset type top with a heart cutout, optional boning, separating zipper closure, a detail like a lace-up black detail that is kind of optional, and then ribbon ties for the straps. And the skirt, I would say, is just a mini A-line skirt, darted with a curved waistband, zipper closure, and heart cutouts on the like kind of upper thighs, and optional ribbon detail as well. She does state that the top is considered advanced and the skirt is considered easy. I was attracted to this pattern because of a particular fabric that I had in my stash. So this year, as part of my Make 9, I paired 9 troublesome fabrics with 9 patterns in the hopes of getting these ones out of my stash because they have been bothering me for way too long. So when I saw this pattern, I thought that looks like the perfect pattern for my fabric. Like, it almost looks like the kind of fabric she used as well. So I was very, very excited to finally get this fabric out of my stash because, like I said in my Make 9 video, I love the fabric, but I just did not have anything to pair with it. Like, I couldn't picture it until I saw this pattern. So I was super excited to get started with this one. Let me go ahead and tell you some of the details. I do have my notes here if you see me looking down. So for the sizing for the pattern, I did cut a 3XL. For reference, my bust is 38 inches, my waist 34, and my hips are 45. The 3XL was for a 41.7 inch bust, 33 inch waist, and 48 inch hip. I could have sized down to the 2XL, which was 40.2, 31.5, and 46.5, which is closer to my measurements, but I felt that because the waist was small, I would rather cut a little big and then size down than having to kind of add and adjust that way. It's just a personal preference for when I'm doing patterns. She does say that the mock-up is a requirement. So in her instruction books on the listing, you know, she does recommend mock-up, which I did do, and I did do some alterations. Even with my minor alterations, I felt like it really did match the photo that she had like on her listing. So I do think that you're getting what she puts out there. You know, what you see is what you get. And there are some great photos from other creators who have made the pattern as well, just so that you can reference it and look at it on different body types, including myself. I did post myself on there. So when you're kind of looking at the pattern, you are going to get what you see, but you will need to make a mock-up. For the instructions, she does offer written and video instructions, which is wonderful. Her written instructions also include photos for reference. The only thing that is not included in the instructions is the size chart. So you do have to reference back to the listing for the size chart. I went ahead and downloaded that as a screenshot just so that if she ever gets rid of that listing, I know what the sizes are. Because otherwise there's no way to reference back to it. Alright, now as far as the process goes, like I said, she does require that you do a mock-up. I felt that the pattern alterations were pretty easy to do for myself. One thing I did do was, like I said, for the top, omitting out the lace-up back. I also fully lined both the top and the skirt. She does not include lining pieces for this. It's all faced, and so it is unlined. I thought it would look a lot neater and nicer and fit my taste being fully lined. So that was one change that I did make as well. I did not use ribbon. I couldn't find something that I liked to match my fabric, so I created like a strap ribbon thing for my top out of another complementary fabric. And I also added pearls. They actually are just kind of like clip-in pearl details on my cutouts as well, instead of doing the little bow details. For my skirt, I did have to lengthen it by 5/8 of an inch, so I did make mine a little bit longer, and then I had to bring in the waist a little bit and kind of shape it a bit as well. But that is all due to my body type, and honestly, other than that, I just added the pearl detail and omitted the bows. As far as cutting for this project, I struggled, and it was not because of the pattern. The pattern is super easy and straightforward. It was because of my fabric. My fabric was so busy, very symmetrical, it had a very obvious repeat, and I really focused hard on figuring out where I wanted that repeat to be, where I wanted the different motifs to be. It was a lot. It was a lot. So cutting is pretty straightforward and easy if you pick an easier, more straightforward fabric, unlike what I picked. As far as the sewing, as long as you follow her instructions, like I said, she has the written and the video, it is not that difficult to sew. Now, she does rate the skirt itself as easy, which I do agree with, and then she rates the top as more advanced, which I also agree with because you have that separating zipper, boning, the heart cutout. There's a lot of different moving components to that one, but she does a really good job of walking you step by step, so you won't have to be really stressed out about trying to figure it all out yourself. I still kind of stressed out about that a little bit because I deviated so far from her instructions. Because I was fully lining mine, I really just went ahead with my own knowledge and did what I did. I don't know. It worked. It came together. I made mistakes. Again, reference back to the sewing blog if you want more details on that. One more note on the sewing. Do not be afraid to clip into those like seam allowances, because especially for the top, if you want it to lay really nice and smooth, trim the seam allowances, clip into it, and just get a lot of that excess out of there. It'll make your final product look so much nicer. So some general tips that I have for this pattern: definitely make that mock-up. Decide where you want your heart cut out to be. You can move that wherever you want. You can omit it, but I would kind of have a general idea in the back of my mind of where you want that cut out to be. Let's see. And just take your time with it. Take your time with it, follow the instructions, and you'll come out with something really nice. But do your mock-up. So now I'll go into a few likes and dislikes. Starting with likes, I really love how cute this pattern is. I've never seen a pattern like this, and I thought it was just absolutely adorable. I also liked the versatility of the pattern. So I made the skirt twice, actually. Once as you see here, and then I made another version of the skirt that looks very different, which shows me that I'll be able to use this pattern multiple times, which is good when you put a lot of time and effort into getting a fit right on a pattern. Sometimes I think that in our community we don't take the time to re-sew some of these things that we work so hard to get fitting right. So knowing that if I use some different fabric, maybe omit the heart cutout, do a little something here, a little something there, I can get a really different look and make it easier for myself to get that look and not have to refit a new pattern. So I really like that. I also like that it had the curved waistband on the skirt. This made the fit really nice for me. And it had video and written instructions. For the first like 5 instructions that I followed, it was really nice. But it also helped me to figure out where I needed to deviate from her instructions by watching her put hers together and then comparing it to the changes that I made. So I did really like that they had that. Some dislikes: I don't like that the size guide is not included in the instructions or in your printout booklet. I just think it's kind of an easy thing to put in there, and not having it for longevity purposes. If I go back and print this out again and for some reason the saved file of the measurements is not available to me anymore, I won't have any idea of the sizing. So I didn't really like that. And I didn't like for hers that she finished everything using the hem tape. I just thought it looked a little messy. Now that's a personal preference, and I know she was sewing kind of for a particular event, and so she did mention, you know, you can hand sew or you can kind of machine sew or things like that. So she mentioned that, but I just, for newer sewists who are just following along, I think it would have been nice if she had made a more clean version of the look. But that's like very minor. And I will also say that the curved waistband has a slightly odd fit on me. Like, you can kind of see when I did my mock-up as well that where that curve was, it just seemed very sharp. Like it didn't look smooth. And so I don't know if that's just my body type or something with the pattern. I tried to smooth it out a little bit, but I didn't want to affect the fit on me because I really like the fit. So it's another little quirky thing that I'm not quite sure about. Overall, I give this pattern a 9. I think it's fantastic. I think it's worth the money. I purchased mine during Black Friday sales, which means I paid less than $3. I believe it retails for about $11 with no sale, but she usually runs some type of sale like regularly. Like right now I think it's on sale for like $7 or something like that. But this is a fun one to go ahead and put on like a Black Friday list or purchase. I did it for Valentine's Day, so the heart cutouts were very cute and fun, and I love it. I love it. I'm going to make a few more, hopefully. You know, you have that long to sew list that just keeps getting longer, but I put a lot of effort into getting this to fit me right, so I'm going to try to squeeze a few more out. There we have it. That is my completed review of THISISKACHI's mini skirt love and corset top bliss pattern bundle. I hope this has been informative for you. I hope it's been a little bit entertaining. If you have any other questions, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Do you have this pattern? Have you sewn it? Do you have any other tips for the community? Let us know. Are you planning on picking it up? Let us know. Do you just like me? Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not. Join my friend group here, little sewing corner of the internet. And stay tuned for the next one, which is on its way. It was wonderful spending some time with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!